What's up, everybody? This is STP Spark Bluebird, and I'm doing that of a little introduction for that of a upcoming series which we're going to be doing of that of our own little D&D. Obviously, I'm going to be that of the actual character to be playing. I have my DM here, Ragnoff.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
Aye. But yes, this is a little introductory into both the world and the character that I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to start things off with my little character. There's going to be a picture up right now. You should be able to see it of my character, Higan Zhao. Here's Higan Zhao Rihenjo. This character himself is what is known in this world as a Salasa, elf-like being, which is its main thing that it is known for is that it's able to jump through different realms. Yes.
Yes, so think the Upside Down from Stranger Things, or the Other Realm in Silent Hill, that kind of thing.
Yes, but that's only for the most prestige and higher skilled Salasas. My character itself won't start off with that, so it's going to be a build-up thing for it. But yes, a little backstory into my own character. The place of origin of my character is inside of my country, Shishai Carpel. And the home village inside that country is Sobin Town. Thank you. Alright, I'm getting this right. Inside the village itself only consisted that of Salasas, because the one key thing about Salasas is that they see themselves as a very high up race. Every other race compared to them is lower. They are like filth to them. So they like to keep themselves away from such other races, or if they do come in contact, they'll belittle them right in front of their faces. So Higan Zhao's family consists of his father, Pumpkin, my mother, Elzenpro, my brother, Kalaxta, and my sister, Vincent. So with my character, he himself had quite the incident inside the village. The village itself was actually attacked by multiple different races which had enough of the Salasas and wanted to actually get back at them to actually stick it to them in a way. This itself ended up with the village taking that of a great deal of beating, but also Higan Zhao actually being abducted to actually be placed into ransom. Now, and there's a thing that happened is that yes, cavalry did come and did actually go and fight back all that of the other races, and Higan Zhao was fine and was all hunky-dory. But the forces that came did not come for Higan Zhao. In fact, when he went to his family afterwards, his family didn't even try to help him. His family mostly his father, already owned him because he was taken by another race and was already dullied and pretty much filthied with their hands. So they didn't want anything to do with him, seeing him as a lesser now. Even the most trusted person that he saw in his eyes, being his mother, even agreed with this. When this happened, he took this opportunity to actually jump forth and leave that village and his home country altogether, to actually go out and be something different, to be a different Salasa and see the world. He learned his skills across his way, just like across the seas, as he left that country altogether. Being that of his new profession, actually being a hunter/monk, going out taking that skins of as various animals, doing that of particular jobs, just like in that villages, vice versa. Always getting that of coin and trying to find a place where Salasas are less known, so that he can start fresh.
It's not out there.
Yeah, it is. As on his travels leaving that country, he came across that of Felnaga. Felnaga was actually a place where he actually heard that Salasas were, just like Salasas themselves, were actually being more worth value when he went more southwest. When he heard about this is all he wanted to do, to actually carry on going southwest, and it was actually true. When he came across more villages, they had less knowing of him, his skills were a lot more appreciated, and taking in his actual skills actually cost a bit more coin, which he enjoyed and he did want to see more of. So it's just like for right now, he wanted to keep going. He wanted to keep going southwest.
Not worthless.
Haha. At this entire moment, he is just like my character himself is at that of a in that the country of Alapar, a diverse country with all kinds of races inside there, which we'll be getting into a bit in a minute. And the city inside this country is known as Godore, which he can judge. And right now has come across a particular junction, which I'm going to pass on to my DM here because there's a lot of explanation to have before we actually talk about the junction. So, James,
So you have traveled across Alapar to this particular city, Gododre. There is currently warfare going on further west to his current location. Borders have been put up across arcanic rivers, and a city which is fervently on lockdown is the only way through. Gododre seems to be a place where he could end up being stuck. This is where his story will generally begin.
Yes. Besides that, my character himself, with everything that's going on, he is wanting to be more appreciative of the other races. Obviously, there is, because of his Celestial heritage, he won't personally say it out loud, but in his mind, it seems to be genetic that even in his mind, he's still going to think that other beings are lesser than him. But with his personality, he's going to be a lot more inviting. He's going to be seeing that other cultures, and he'll definitely want to get involved to actually understand and see what is out there to learn. But when it comes to Celestials that he'd actually come across, this is where he's going to be a bit more negative. He's going to be he's going to be more so trying to avoid them altogether. Even if it is one with good intentions and has nothing bad to give him, he wouldn't want anything to do with that race entirely. It's already given him bad enough grief. He doesn't want any more from that race. He wants to try and find it, and he wants to try and find more solace in that of other races. But besides that, he wants to just try and put his past behind him and want to live out his life the fullest that he can, whether that be through money, drink, or the adventure itself.
So, to give a little context on generally what we've been talking about, Hekan Chao is a part of a dimension known as Zegabek. Zegabek is a supernatural plane where there is only one surface. Comprises of many different races, as Aaron has previously mentioned. These particular races go by various different backgrounds, all of which are original. Obviously, they're inspired by stuff, Celeste, Elf kind of thing, but everything has a new twist to it. It is a place of fantasy. It's the closest thing that you'll find Dimensions and Destinies getting towards Dungeons and Dragons. It has similarities in the sense of it's fantasy, but it has my own take on it. It has its beauty, but at the same time, it has its dark undertone.
It's made by you, so yeah.
Yes, so going beyond that, the world of Zegabek started off as a place entirely populated simply by humans. It was a mundane world, but nonetheless, it had been created by a being. Not necessarily a god or a deity, but a higher being which embedded itself beneath the earth. Thousands upon thousands of feet, miles even, it is below the Earth's surface, and it irradiates its energy and gives life to the world. With that, though, it gave birth to a number of other beings which ascended and wished to gain life in the new world to come. They would come up through the surface and they would ascend to the skies, creating a city in the sky. The humans saw this and they got curious, so through their technology that they were able to create, they eventually created an airship, none of which flew to this large city. They came to the large city and they asked these higher beings that came from their creator. They asked them a number of questions, and frankly, being as fragile as humans are, these beings were impressed, and they told the humans that they are deities. They are the people which move the pieces, move the chess pieces in this world. They are what makes it tick. The being below simply created it, and he keeps it alive. The humans very much agreed that they would worship these deities. These deities said to them they would gift them with supernatural potential, and that's how it went about being. They gifted them brands. Majiku, a magic brand. Saishi, a devout religious brand. Lesser-X, a warrior-type brand, which the master of all lesser elements. And Shikai, a brand which allows a human to fight off of the power of Oath, who ascends their human limits through resolve. Beyond that, they created other races, which littered the world. Evolution took effect hundreds of generations later. What I've just told you are religious texts. They are myths and legends, and this was the creation story of Zegabek. Zegabek is a large plane. It is a plane which has hundreds, no, even thousands of countries, nations, and societies. And one of these places is Alapa. The country that Hikanjao comes from is a mainly only Silursa society. What is there is considered bothersome to their kind. But amongst Alapa, it is diverse, but it is not without its treachery and its darkness. There are dark forces in amongst these places. There is always bad where there is good, and Alapa is most certainly no exception to this. It just simply has, as I said, diversity. Each of the major cities, including the one that he is going to, Gododre, they each have their own governing bodies. The towns and the villages that surround them, they're almost considered their own little country. However, there is one that rules over them all, and Hikanjao would have heard of this the moment he came into Alapa. There is a place known as Withersheim, the country's capital, or the mainland's capital, the continent's capital, an imperial court, if you would. They lead over everyone. They take it with an iron fist. They may do as they wish, each of these individual societies, but Withersheim always has the final say. Withersheim has the power. It is a city like no other. Next, a simple note with Hikanjao, one of the key factions that are in this place. There are many, but the main one I want to mention is the Slaver's Pride. These are Silursa-only beings, which enslave other races, particularly the dumber ones. There is a particular one, there's one in particular, but we won't go into that. These Slaver's Pride, when coming upon Hikanjao, saw him as one of their own. They wanted him to join them. Given his past, he was not for this.
Yes, absolutely not.
But they held him in high regard simply because of his race.
That's how far up their noses are.
What a thing to have in the 21st century. He is in the crossroad right now, as we know. He is currently, where we will start our story, he is in Gododre, and he will be trying to go further west or southwest to attempt to go to a place where Silursas are even less, and he can become even more use and gain even more money and go up in the world. But as I said, there are warring nations to the west, and he, in order to get past them, can do either one of three things. He can either go through the city that is on lockdown, going through the rivers, for the most part, isn't an option because it's about a mile wide. It's on a colossal scale like that. Arcane energies, ancient arcane energies, have made it this way. He could wait it out. Maybe the wall will blow over in Gododre, where he is right now. Or he can go back. He can go. He can take a different route, which will take many, many months. And it would be a shame because he would, throughout this time, he would degrade in reputation because.
I'd be backtracking.
Indeed.
I thought there was another option as well, though. I could actually go take the boat out to sea and then.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, you know, you'd have to make quite the wide circle. It's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
When it comes to the session, we can show you the map, varying other things like that. But right now, the story will start out in the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, this is only an introductory. We wanted to get this across because there's going to be quite a bit more that we're going to be saying inside the actual first session itself. The actual mechanics and such, is getting off of the story and everything.
There's a lot. We will do it as we go.
We'll explain as much as we can and everything, but we didn't want to just have the majority of the video of the first session just being us explaining everything. So this is a good time for us to actually tell you a little bit now. In this video introductory into our D&D sessions, we're expecting, well, with how usually our D&Ds go, they go on for many sessions. But yes,
indeed.
That would be all for this, I believe, unless you got anything else to say.
No, there's everything.
Okay, right. So that will be the introductory done. Next time when you see this video coming up, it'll be finally into the actual session, first session into that of Heek and Jiao. So thank you all for watching, and with that all being said and done, this has been STB. Spark the bird. Sorry.
Sayonara.